Hello there, this is Cookies, and today I've got turn 30 for you. I'm re-recording this one. First because the other one had a few audio issues. I think it's still watchable, and it might be nice to see how the original battles went. We're on a much later patch now. I don't have saved versions of the game from earlier patches from that long ago, so I can't recreate the original battles. However, that might still be interesting to see how some of these turned out um, on kind of like a second version of the game. Another thing is I wanted to kind of compare the audio from this microphone to what I was using previously. So I'll be trying to check out the quality for the two, and I'll post both since I've had a few comments recently and just see what other people think as well. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So we'll start with Pullmania. This was, I was trying to clear out the troglodytes because I need a line of reinforcement to Osiri that doesn't involve a disease site. And also it's just kind of time for them to go. We're wrapping up this war with Pyrene against Jotunheim, and there's no need for independence on the map, although they were useful for hiding my camel squads earlier in the war. I forward positioned the Adites so that they would take the brunt of the damage. I think the camels are more useful, especially as an alpha force. I don't want to get them killed off necessarily. And Adites have very high upkeep in terms of keeping them around in peacetime. So an Adite is 24 gold a year, which is 2 gold a month, and then a Janguard is 16 gold a year, so they're even more expensive than the Sacreds. Alright, we had a few route, but it looks like no one got off on this one. Yeah, so we lose 10 Adites, 4 Janguard. This is fine. Janguard are nice, but they're not so nice that you need to preserve them like that. Alright. And we have a few other battles, so looks like we have a few knights and some monks. Just going up against one PD. I don't think we need to watch that. Then we have Pyrene and Northia. So this is a fairly large Pyrene force. Again, he's using this sword in front formation that I'm still fairly skeptical of, but didn't seem to hurt him at all in this war. But it does put the swordsman out front, so if somebody dies, maybe it'll be the swordsman. We've got Agartha and Bandarlog. So a bunch of Magma kids going up against a little bit of PD. These heat auras burning his heavy infantry could be an issue. Yeah, so he loses 3 attentive statues, which I think is a pretty heavy blow. I wouldn't want to lose these like that. Loses a Shard Guard and loses 5 Agarthan heavy infantry. All to just basically PD. And then in Velex, we've got Asphodel putting the fort under siege. We have a block of Minotaurs on the right flank, block of Centaurs on the left flank. Some of these behemoths getting maybe some group buffs. And then some attack, some rear bait, but also attack rear. Just like some additional attack rear squads, it looks like. We do get a bad event, so we lose a bunch of population. So Jared becomes significantly worse. This is due to Ballin's awful scales. We have a province revolt. And then another one taken by knights. Or no, that's Agartha. Okay. And then Osiri is breached. Okay, so let's see what we're doing this turn. Oh, and there was a I did some sort of trade with Pyrene. So let's see. And actually, I could probably go pull up what I traded him. Give me 1 second. And I'm back. All right, so I traded him 10 nature gems. I think he's planning to put up Mother Oak, but I'll take all the fire gems I can get. All right, so for this turn, let's see what we're up to. So we can see Agartha and Banderlog squaring up for a potential big fight. We'll see how that goes. Abyssia is using this this potential engagement to go ahead and take Farseer Mountains. So taking a fort off Banderlog. So Banderlog is doing a tremendous job holding, but they're still losing territory. They just can't be everywhere at once. We're still down here. So we've cut off this sort of expansion for Bandarlog. And then we've got some additional Abyssian troops showing up. In terms of this, the war against Jotunheim, this stack's going to go on Jotunheim. These camels, I moved them off because I had a bunch of troops starving on Osiri. So I knew they couldn't get patrolled out here, and I let Pyrene know, just in case. But I knew they couldn't get patrolled out here, and so they're just going to follow the Pyrene army to Jotunheim and then back to Nabal land. Because I still can't move them on to Osiri. He's got Forest of Gun getting sieged down. And then in the meantime, we've secured this new line of reinforcement. We've got Gulf Loss. And it's time to storm Osiri. So we've got our guy here, a little bit sad. He probably needed better armor. So he's only got 17 protection, 16 hit points. But if he gets to attack first, he should be able to at least stun a few squares. And he's got an axe of sharpness to help him deal out some extra damage. Let's see. We've also got, I guess I can go over the rest of the script. We've got our Soulslay Communion. We've got Jangard for attack rear. Some of the body ethereal will help with going into that attack rear. We've brought a few camels, also on attack rear. These guys, their job is to eat boulders from the fort wall. Kind of expensive way to do that, but somebody's got to do it. And I've got mostly just quality in my army. Might have been good to recruit some more chaffy units to fill that role, but they'll do all right. And then I've got some Adites that'll also run ahead and hopefully catch some boulders for the Jangard that I'm more willing to keep around in peacetime. And anything important, definitely don't want boulders hitting mages. So that's kind of the plan here. We'll go ahead and assault, and then that should wrap up our war versus Jotunheim. We did get Fukan taken by independence. We're going to send some militia and some Adites from the neighborhood to try and retake it. This should let us get militia off the payroll. I'm not sure if I really want to be paying for them. I'm about to replace some of them with Call of the Winds in terms of patrol strength. In terms of recruitment, I've started recruiting Garnets. We've got this guy here with the Gossamer Cloth to cover for that Garnet recruitment. So you can see there's 9 units in it, so he'll be able to hide everyone. I think this was still before I'd done some of the testing. There's a lot of interesting interactions between Glamour and Stealth and Veil Army, and I think some of the other stuff that Namaz got going on, like Unseen. And I wasn't as familiar with all those interactions yet, and the game was still pretty new. So I needed to test it. It was very possible some of it could have been bugged, or it might change. So I did need to test it, but I was about to start that process. And then in terms of the rest of my recruitment, we've got a Malika going. This is my first Malika. I know a lot of people think this is really late to get your first Malika. And I think when you go for really expensive cap-only mages, sometimes it just depends on the game. And I'm definitely not sad that I recruited a bunch of Mukarib because they won me that war. And I'm not sure if a Malekith would have done much against a Sacred Jotunheim Giant. So got that going. We're still getting some Mukarib, but the main recruitment is that Malika, and then I guess we've got some Hermit Sahir going as well. Although these guys are not sacred, so going into peacetime, I think uh, I need to start converting some of these labs into forts by just like forting it, and then I can get sacred mages after building a temple, and that would probably be preferable to just continually recruiting the hermits here because they do cost a lot of upkeep. And I think that's it. Although they also come with a pretty cool unit. So they come with these hen and these if you get a collection of hermits here together, and then you maybe put them on the flank of a storming force for a castle, you might be able to knock out a set of the wall guards just with the hen, and then the mages can provide evocation support. So that's something else you can consider doing in a game. All right, and then you can see we're making our alquills. And I think that's it. I don't want to go too much longer than the previous one. So I'll go ahead and stop here. Have a good one. Later.